Mike Moore Media.
My friend Terry Snyder, founder of Operation North State, is on the line. Terry, hey, welcome back.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
Well, you know, the whole world is consumed by the coronavirus, and sometimes things like our veterans, very important to all of us in so many ways, maybe get lost in all of this. Can you give us an update on what's going on in veterans' lives and in their world today, please?
Yeah, Mike, I think that's a good way to approach it because, you know, when things are rosy and rolling along pretty good, we know there's special needs out there, whether it's people with fighting some diseases or child-related or veterans-related. And I think we've all, whatever we support in life or have an interest in our case, it is our veterans, it's our active military. There have been things that have been there for them. There's been the VA, and the VA has improved in a big way. There's other veteran support services that have been there. There's issues they have in their life, and because they're dire, for an example, the 20 vets committing suicide every day. So we heard that a lot. It was on the television, in the press, in different ways. But you look at since the virus has hit, and we're all, as a population, struggling and having issues and trying to move forward. You just don't hear that much specific about the veteran population, and their needs are still there. And the one thing I would like to touch on, maybe what has been in our veterans' lives for years and years, be it caregivers, loved ones, whatever organizations they're part of, we kind of need to understand. I mean, they're fighting closed doors just like everybody else. So if they're a member of the American Legion, VFW, those doors are shut. Mm-hmm. Maybe they were going to have doctor's appointments where there's a lot of routine things checkups they were going to. They're just not there right now. So I just think some of the things are in the veterans' lives that are, keeping them positive, helping them move forward, helping life get better. We haven't talked about it much lately, and I just think we've got to still keep those kind of forefront, with what their needs are and how they're progressing.
Well, and I appreciate your perspective on that. Yeah, sometimes we do get caught up in other things and unfortunately forget our veterans and some important things that are, we need to be concerned with in their lives, and maybe even now more than ever, don't you think?
I really do, and you look at Operation North State. What we kind of do for our veterans is try to put some comfort in their lives. It could be as simple as taking some goodies and snacks and toiletries or whatever. But we try to do it often. We try to do it a lot. We try to give them quality. And so we've been making trips to nursing homes throughout the state. I mean, there's probably 8 or 10 we visit on a regular basis throughout, every month. And we've just been told, hey, love to have you, love to have the items, but now's not the time. There's restrictions and guidelines going on. So, yeah, they need those. We're hoping we can get back online and get in there. The other thing is recreational therapy. That is whether we're putting them on a bike, in a group setting, or we're taking them fishing. But all of those, due to the mandates, they've all been shut down. But the one thing we have been able to do as an organization, we have the database of the anglers in our state. We have those people that like to cycle, play golf. And then we have the list on the Wounded Warrior Disabled Veteran side that have an interest in those activities. And we've been able to match those up and keep people somewhat positive, because if you're doing one-on-one, that's well within the governor and the federal guidelines. So we're still getting guys and gals out and about, and it's putting smiles on faces. And that's something I'm just very, very proud. And so whether it's Operation North State or you as an individual or another organization, I think we need to do all we can to stay within the guidelines, but how do we stay engaged and active with our veterans?
Yes, indeed. Thank you for that. Let's talk about fishing. How's fishing these days, Terry?
Well, I think fishing is really, really good. And I got it. When it comes to fishing, I just wonder, is there anybody out there that doesn't fish? I mean, I think it's gotten so popular, and there's so many people doing it. It's not the cheapest sport in the world, but you don't have to do it in the most expensive way. But from a standpoint of our veterans and what we're seeing with our donors that like to help our veterans that are anglers and have equipment and have boats and expertise and all that, it's probably our biggest time, as far as what we're saying about doing one-on-ones. I think in the last 5 days, we've had 19 one-on-ones where we knew guys had the equipment, had the expertise, and wanted to put a veteran on the back of their boat. And they have done that for us, and I see that continuing to grow every day. So, yeah, fishing's wide open for us right now, and it truly puts a smile on these guys and gals' faces. And I couldn't be any happier with what we as an organization have been able to keep going, and the fact that we haven't been able to host our fishing festivals in a large environment. These one-on-ones have really hit the mark.
And that one-on-one brings it home to really first face-to-face, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and we've heard this for years, even through our fishing festivals. But you take some anglers and you take guys that might be up in their retirement age. They've still got their boats and their desire and love to fish. And they said, "Man, Terry, I've won every dollar bill, or I've been very fortunate in catching a big fish or a big bag of fish, and I've won a dollar bill and I've won a trophy." And they've all told me this thing about getting a veteran on your boat, getting to know him, or whether you get to know them that well or not, because maybe they don't open up. But when you see the smile on their face, you see them learning something, you're giving them an opportunity to do something they otherwise probably would not be able to get to do. It's not just a great thing for the wounded warrior and disabled veteran, but those donors, in this case, the host boaters, they're having a blast as well.
I'm thinking maybe someone is listening to this broadcast, Terry, and thinking, I get out in my boat. I talked to a good friend just yesterday. I called him on his birthday, and he said, "I'm going fishing this weekend." And I'm thinking, maybe they need to be reminded there may be a veteran that would like to go with him on that fishing trip.
I couldn't express that more. And I keep telling people it doesn't have to be Operation North State. Nothing would make me happier as there being multiple Operation North States. And that could be an individual, like you said, just all of a sudden, bam, I think I would like to do that. Or another veterans organization saying, why don't we carve out a little lake in our community and just take out 6 or 7 guys? It doesn't have to be 50 to 70 to 100. But it does touch lives, and it's not the veterans saying that only, but it's their family, their caregivers. It's the staff at the VA, the doctors at the VA saying, man, we see the difference this is making. But if there is somebody out there that would just want to say, what does this entail? They don't even have to hook up and come through Operation North State. I can just kind of tell them the things to look out for. They might have a cousin or a buddy or somebody at church say, why don't we go fishing one day? So I think you're dead on it, and I would highly recommend more people do that. But if they don't have the comfort level on what to expect, have any and all of them give me a call. I'll be glad to walk them through that.
Okay, I know we can get information on your website, your Facebook page, but let's go ahead and give a phone number right now, Terry.
Yeah, I want to do 2 things. Number one is the phone. The phone number is 336-764-5967, and we're located here in Winston-Salem. And the second thing is our Facebook page, and it's just 3 words, Operation North State. And if you go there, you're going to see very active posts, but you're also take a minute to go through the photo album. It could take hours, but at least go over there and see some of the activities, the folks that are helping us, who we're trying to help, and just see if that's something you'd like to be part of. And if so, pick up the phone, call us, or send a Facebook message, and we'd love to talk to you.
Well, thank you for that good information. Such a wonderful organization, Operation North State, and you've been helping so many wounded warriors and veterans for so many years, and I appreciate that. We all do, touching lives that I don't know anything about, but I know you do great work.
Well, and I appreciate that, and Mike, this was something I could have told you 8 or 9 years ago when we started. I wasn't a veteran myself, but tie it back into what the name Operation North State is all about. Operation is pretty much a term you hear anything that's kind of military related. But North State, that's the state of North Carolina. And I don't even care if you're up in the state of Virginia. We have a lot of support coming from outside of North Carolina. But this is nothing more than, I wasn't a veteran. I'm just a citizen of this state. And I just feel like with anybody that has put that uniform on to serve their country, and then along the way something happened to them, and now they've been labeled by the VA as having a percentage of disability. If there's something we can do to help make their life a little bit better, whether you do it through Operation North State, you as an individual, through your church or your community, I just personally want to see all of us do what we can to say thank you to those veterans that are out there.
We can never do enough for them. Terry, thank you. Always great to talk to you. Have a good time. Have a good time out on the lake.
Yeah, well, listen, buddy, thanks for all your help. You do so much for us as well. You take care.
All right. Talk to you again soon. Thanks. Terry Snyder, founder of Operation North State. What a credible, wonderful organization that is. I hope you were listening closely to some ways that you can get involved in helping our veterans and wounded warriors. Again, that Facebook page is Operation North State.